like the symbol. Yeah, it's pointing towards me. Yeah, they cast Peyton List from Flash, some other stuff. It was solid casting. Actually, that was the second one. They cast some other chick, and then they did something else where she mutated into someone else. It was very weird. It was a weird show.
I love how is that a CW show?
No.
Oh,
that's why it's not. That's why like the
It's
budget
not
was higher than
complete
like
garbage?
$6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because CW shows don't give a fuck.
No.
They're like, we don't care what happens. We will have 3 different Batwomen in the first season, and you will like it. And they will somehow all be gay.
We will do George Floyd and Breonna Taylor recreations on our show.
Yeah. We will reenact them because, well...
And then make jokes about them.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, because, this is just like real life. Batwoman
And Black Lightning. Obviously,
Yeah.
Black Lightning has to have a George Floyd recreation.
Yeah, we somehow found the 2 lesbians who know how to fight in the city. Who, by the way, look very feminine.
Yeah, that's... I told you, I've seen the pilot for season 2 of Batwoman. Weird. And now they're bringing back... So they killed off Batwoman, right? Ruby Rose's character was Kate Kane. And they replaced her with I think her name was Ryan Wilder, was the second Batwoman.
She's the black chick?
Yeah. Now they're bringing back Kate Kane, but they recast her with someone else.
Oh, right. And then apparently in the accident, she got her face fucked up.
Yes.
But not only that, but she grew like 3 inches.
Yes.
Because fucking Ruby Rose is like tiny.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she grew 3 inches, and now they also had the first live action Stephanie Brown, spoiler. And apparently they just like completely butchered the character and like I haven't seen it, but I saw like people were talking about like every like core of the character is like literally reversed, and they were just like, is there a difference between Stephanie Brown and Barbara Gordon? I'm like, yes. There's actually a big difference. Yeah. They even gave her red hair and glasses. Like it's a different character. She was never even Batgirl. She was Robin for a second. Then she was spoiler.
Yeah, the CW doesn't give a fuck.
No, they don't. They just do whatever for...
Well, you know what? My lovely co-host, what actually is a good show is Invincible.
That is a good show.
They did not fucking ruin that goddamn show. I was a little bit worried when one of the characters literally suggested to Invincible to read Ta-Nehisi Coates. But they salvaged it. Yeah.
I totally missed that.
Yeah, Amber. Because they were like, listen, if we're going to have a black character, she's going to be a militant, like, black person. I'm like, can't they just be people? Please, can we all just be people?
No.
And it's like, I don't know. I didn't like. Honestly, I don't give a shit about that. What I did hate though is that they turned Amber into a bitch when she was not. Like
in the comics.
Yeah, that's.
She's kind of like a dummy in the comics, huh? She's like.
Yeah, she's an airhead, but she's a good-hearted person, And
I don't like her in the show.
Yeah,
so many people defended like, oh, you don't like her, blah blah blah. I'm like. She gets mad at him for leaving to save her own life and other people's lives. And then he tells her, and she's like, I knew all along. Like, why are you mad at him?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, because she's like mad, like, oh, how did you leave me when they were attacking? And then at the end, he's like, I didn't leave you. Like, I had to save your life, and I had to save these other people's lives. I had to protect my identity. She's like, I know. Now, time to leave. I was like,
she's like,
listen,
Invincible, you have all these very good, valid reasons, but I have a vagina, so therefore my brain is not connected to my mouth. And I will say whatever I want to say, and you will take it, for I have no accountability for my actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that they wrote her again, which sucks, because Sassy Beats a great fucking actress.
And that...
Yeah.
Yeah. The fortunate thing is, like, it's not like they're wasting... a good actor, because the whole cast is just stacked with like really like high talented actors.
I know, yeah.
And you can just listening, like if it was an audio drama, you could tell the difference between this and every other cartoon. Like the actors like bring a really high level. John Hamm voices an extra who's in 2 episodes. John Hamm. Didn't this dude have like Golden Globes?
Yeah.
And Emmys?
Fucking I love Walton Goggins as the Cecil.
Yeah, and it's because such a flip on his character. He's always a psychopath. Like on the Shield, he's like pure. He's like a sociopath. You remember? I was just watching this episode the other day where he's like trying to get the chick to tell him where her drug dealer boyfriend is, and he starts like raping her. he throws her on the bed. He's like the cop guy. And he's
Is that when he's banging the 18-year-old?
No.
Oh fuck. Because there's one like
that. I think that's later.
Yeah, when he gets beat up because he's banging like an 18-year-old prostitute.
No. Okay, yeah. What you're talking about is it was the stripper who lures people out, and he bangs her in the interrogation room, and because she was like, oh, I'll give you the information, blah blah blah, and then she was like she was a gang member's like sister or some shit. She was some black chick that he was banging, but she was like 18. And then I think that's later. Okay.
Yeah, and then he gets beat up by the fucking gang members, and he can't tell anybody. Can't tell anybody. He's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "You see, well, there's barely legal chicks that I'm banging."
Yeah.
Gang members,
I think that was in the season where Anthony Anderson's the villain.
Dude, what a fucking change for that dude. Because I remember him from Kangaroo Jack, and then like I guess he did this before, right? Like chronologically, because I just remember watching Kangaroo Jack as a kid. And I think The Shield, like,
predated?
I think the Kangaroo Jack came out like 2005.
The Shield started in 2002 from 2010.
Right, so maybe it's around that time. But holy fuck, he can play a fucking villain like really well. Like
he can.
When I love his phrase when he tells him like he's like when I tell you to suck my dick, you have to ask me the balls too, daddy. Yeah, some shit like that. But he says it so menacingly. I'm like, damn. Yeah, he's like, do you want me to cup the balls too, daddy? Yeah, he killed it in that.
That show's such like the underappreciated gem of TV. It was just like overshadowed by The Wire.
Well, you can't do fascist cop shows anymore, I think.
Well, yeah. But like it's just like no one knows about it.
Yeah.
It got the Golden Globe nominations when it was coming out, but it's just like I bring it up and no one knows what that show is. I'm like, this is like the best. Like that's my favorite show.
I don't know. Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, the same. Kurt Sutter worked on Shield before he made that show.
Well, I watched The Shield after like Sons of Anarchy, and I was like, oh fuck! Like this fool basically brought like everybody in the cast over to play like guest roles on Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. Because I was like, oh shit, I know everybody. I know Lem, like obviously fucking Walton Goggins, who plays a fucking trans woman in Sons of Anarchy. That fool will play anything. That's what I realized. He has like a very like explicit like sex scene where he's getting banged in the ass by like one of the fucking gangers. I was like, damn. I was like, this is a real actor right here.
Yeah, he's like top tier.
Yes, sure. I was so happy when Tarantino started bringing him over to do shit.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, this fool is perfect.
It always made me sad that they kind of wasted him in Ant-Man.
Oh, right. But I mean, I don't know. They kind of waste every villain. Kinda.
Yeah, but just like his performance. The other one, the real big waste was Mads Mikkelsen in Doctor Strange. It was like, you have one of the best actors currently alive, and he has like 3 scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, and he's not even like a big comic book villain either.
Yeah, they wasted him on Caecilius. Yeah. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
you know how rare it is for me to say I don't know who that is?
He was like a henchman, basically.
Yeah, he was comics.
Like But that would be like making fucking the Tinker like the main villain, which is what they did on Spider-Man Miles Morales, which pissed me the fuck off. Like, really? This fucking idiot.
And now they've blown the perfect Doctor Doom casting.
Who did
Mikkelsen. He would crush it as Doctor Doom,
right.
dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Now they can't do that.
They need somebody younger, though.
What do you think of Cillian Murphy?
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fool would kill it for sure.
I
mean, I really like the guy they had originally, to be honest. I thought he was perfect, too. The fool from Nip Tuck. I thought he was really, really good casting. Mm-hmm. I mean, that movie basically had very good casting. It's just everything else fucking sucked ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I don't know. That movie came out in a time when it was not possible for a good Fantastic Four movie to get made.
Yeah.
But dude, they had Lawrence Fishburne as Silver Surfer. Like, that's so good.
Yeah, like I said, like the casting was fucking perfect, but it's just I don't know why they chose like to fucking basically like throw like a Mad Libs to write the script.
Yeah, and I don't like who wants to watch a superhero movie where like it's all about them wanting to get rid of their powers.
Yeah,
like, that's the whole movie. I'm like, okay, this is not only is this boring, but it's like,
dude, you can stretch your dick to like 40 inches and like have it be like just like thicker than your thigh, and he's like, man, fuck this power.
The only one who should want to get rid of their powers is the Thing.
Yeah, because
he's a giant, ugly rock monster. It is
with no penis.
And his fiance leaves him.
Yeah, he's like, you're fucking ugly now. You're always a midget, but I kind of was like okay with it. But now that you're orange and disgusting, and your balls are 2 pebbles, I no longer want a part of this. Yeah, and you fuck every time you jizz, a bunch of dust comes out of your dick, and it's I do not enjoy it. Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic is stretching his dick all the way to Jessica Alba's brain. She's like smaller, bigger, smaller, but thicker, thinner. Like Mr. Fantastic is just like, I will oblige. That fool could literally just fucking like, he's like, oh, where's my belt? And he's like, I don't need a belt, and he just stretches his dick and he puts it around the fucking belt hoops in his pants. Listen, there's a lot of things you can do with these powers, is what I'm trying to say.
That's getting the short end of the stick, dude. Like, imagine you and all your friends get superpowers, and like one can stretch, one can turn invisible, make force fields, one can fly and catch on fire.
I know.
And you're just a big ugly rock, dude.
Yeah, you just look like a fucking high C, orange juice, fucking rock.
It's like you do have like a cool power set. You're invincible and you're super strong at the price of literally every like normal.
The price of your cock, which is not a price worth paying.
Every normal day-to-day enjoyment, love and life, and being able to sit down and hold a PlayStation controller.
Liquid cum. Instead, you just fucking
dust.
Like, ooh, it's just fucking like dust that looks like it came from Mars.
How would that even work if you just got a rock?
Well, he needs lube. Otherwise, he just fucking scrapes his dick with his hand. He probably can't even hold it himself. He probably needs a fleshlight, 100%. Like that has to be the first thing he checked when he turned.
And
he's like, whoa, listen, I like the super strength. I like that I can take on buildings, but I need to check something first. And he's like, no. What happened? My cock. It's gone.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah.
He had to like read it. That was his like before he'd push a girl into bed. He'd be like, "It's clobbering time." Now it's like
it's clobbering time. Oh yes, it is. Let me
it
show you the thing. He's like, I have no thing. Do you have any idea how cruel it is to call me the thing when I have no thing? You son of a bitch. You stretchy cock motherfucker.
He got it. He really did get it worse.
Yeah.
Think of the only person who got it
Mr. Fantastic and the Thing.
The Thing. And just look at all superheroes.
Yeah.
He got it worse than everybody. Because even the Hulk can turn back into a human.
Yeah, and Beast still has his big blue cock.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler, same thing. Well, he probably has a tiny penis.
But here's the only person who got as bad as him, Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Because he's literally sewer sludge as a giant gorilla.
And he's not even who he thinks he is, right? He's just like a consciousness.
Well, yeah, his human body died, and it's like just absorbed.
No, but like, I don't know if you read the Alan Moore.
Not
run.
all of it, and it's been a minute.
Well, basically, he brings him to heaven, and he sees that Alec Hammond is in heaven, and he's actually not Alec Hammond. He thinks he is Alec Hammond.
Ah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's fucking wild. Well, but he can do anything with his body. He could make, but it would still be like a dick made of seaweed or something. Yeah, bullshit.
He's a big sludge swamp monster.
Yeah, it's like on my mud penis.
Yeah. Did you watch the Swamp Thing show?
No, I don't give a fuck. Was this a CW show?
No. Do you want me to tell you the tragedy of this show?
Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. Well, you might want to, except... Okay, so let me explain. So this show was on DC Universe. Yeah. And basically, I forget who, James Wan produced it, and some dude made it. I can't remember his name, but he brought the show to them, and basically DC was like, okay, but we want it to be like... And this is rumored, but it seems plausible. Apparently, they gave them the directive of... They want it to be like a CW thing. They want Swamp Thing to be able to turn back into like a buff, handsome dude and like fight villains.
Christ.
Do you know what he did?
What?
He said okay and then just did whatever he wanted. He made like a legitimate body horror show with practical effects that was like hard TV mature. And by the time the executives caught on, it was already all done. So they released it. And then as soon as the first episode came out, they're like, we're releasing the season, but it's canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to tank your career, honestly.
I
guess I kind of respect it, but he just tanked his fucking career.
I mean, maybe, but here's the thing. Watched. It's like a beloved show.
Is it? Then I might check it out.
It got like all like, it was getting like 9s and 10s. It's a really good show.
Oh, shit, never
mind. It's like The Thing, the John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
It's all like practical effects body horror. There's like so many scenes I feel like they're taken out of that. And James Wan produced it. It's like a legitimate horror show.
Why did they get James Wan if they wanted to do some fucking twink bullshit?
I think James Wan was working with the guy and they kind of were like, wink, wink.
Yeah, you can do it, right?
So, and the ultimate offense is that after it was canceled and DC Universe fell apart, CW... Okay, so the rights were all for all the shows were given to HBO Max, except for that one. CW got the rights to it, and they're not even continuing it. They just shaved it down to make it TV-14 and re-release season 1.
Disgusting.
It's so horrible. But yeah, dude, it's Swamp Thing.
People are going to notice the difference between a CW show and that bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of CW, have you seen Superman and Lois?
No, but I heard it was okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, the fight scenes literally feel like they're taken out of Man of Steel. Like, they look that good. It doesn't feel cheap at all.
I thought it looked really good until he's talking about his kid. He's like, he got diagnosed with anxiety disorder. I'm like, what?
I'd recommend watching it.
Oh, I'll watch it. I mean, it still look good, but I just, like... Again, like they sometimes like they it just feels so forced.
Yeah.
Like when you watch the Breaking Bad trailer, at no point does Walter White go like, yeah, and my kid has fucking whatever that fool has. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to get like whatever like diversity points or some shit. Like they just make the fucking show and then you fucking watch it. Yeah,
it's not. Obviously, it's not on like Breaking Bad or even like Daredevil level quality in terms of the writing. Yeah. It's just such a good Superman show. Like like the opening scene of the show is like a nuclear reactor's melting down, and Superman flies over the ocean and freezes a big chunk of it to ice with his breath, and he like lifts it up like a giant landmass of ice and drops in the nuclear reactor. And like this is such a Superman opening, and it looks high budget. It looks real.
That was the thing that I was like, it actually looks good. I like the cast.
It's good cinematography. The performances are good. It's like, and it's Superman. He does Superman stuff. He flies around the world. He saves people. You know, he uses his crazy powers and stuff. And there's giant fights.
He doesn't snap the necks of his fellow Kryptonians.
No.
And fucking
sit around and mope all day. I'm watching it. I'm like, this is Superman. This is the Superman I know from the comics and you know from the older movies. Yeah. But now they have the budget to make him do like crazy stuff. Like, the fight scenes are literally, like, flying through cities and going up into space and crazy stuff. And
it finally caught up to, like, the technology finally caught up to the point where it's, I guess, reasonable. But also, these shows are pretty big fucking hits, so they might have a bigger budget than normal.
Well, so here's the thing with CW. Their shows do not get good ratings, but they make them super cheap.
No, but they might not get good ratings because nobody watches TV. But they hella get like they get hella played on Netflix or wherever like streaming service they'll be on. Like hella people, they have a huge fan base. These fucking stupid shows, because you're never gonna run out of nerds.
Yeah.
Or at least like the Flash and Arrow.
You have the nerds and the Tumblr girls.
Yes, exactly.
But I think Flash and Arrow Arrow's done now. I think they have lost the nerds, but they've taken over the Tumblr women.
Yeah, because they fired that one fool for making the funniest jokes ever. About beating his wife, like
Dunkin' Donuts or whatever.
Yeah, but it was like I was like, these are clearly like jokes.
Yeah, it's clearly jokes, and I tell me, it's just so like
they were funny.
He literally just tweets out of nowhere. It's like passing by the Dunkin' Donuts where I beat my ex-girlfriend. This isn't even a joke. Like, no. It's just a fun, stupid comment.
But it's
hilarious.
I thought they were funny. I was like, this is clearly like, I was like, because James Gunn, when he said that shit about the pedophile shit, I was like,
not really funny.
Not really funny. Yeah.
And I think we talked about this on other episodes before, but the only one that made me laugh was he was like, I'm in a hotel, the water pressure's so low, it feels like a 6-year-old boy's pissing on my back. That was great. And then he made some kind of like, what did he say? He's like, I want to do a retelling of the Giving Tree where at the end that she jacks the kid off or something. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, they were like, I don't know, like those were not as obvious, or like they were just bad jokes.
They were just it was for the most part wasn't funny.
Yeah, it was just trying to be shocking.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, whatever. There was like two funny ones, and then the rest I was like, all right, James
okay,
Gunn.
James Gunn, you son of a bitch, you gotta
Just
calm down.
Go make Guardians of the Galaxy. Go make that. Did you see his movie with Dwight from The Office?
Super?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's pretty sick,
it's
right?
so good. Yeah. With Ellen Page, too.
Yeah, Elliot
Page. Jesus. Well, she was Ellen Page back then.
Yeah.
Or he was Ellen. Who gives a fuck?
Someone does.
Someone. Yeah, somewhere.
Not the people who are listening to this.
Well, I'm sure he cares, but yeah, I don't even know how that works. So, like, if you were to say, like, do you have to say Caitlyn Jenner won a gold medal? Do you know what I mean?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I have no idea.
What are you talking about? You're trans?
Shh.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. He's just gay.
You outed me. You outed me just like
no, but that actually shit.
Brad Bird did or whoever.
And the worst, like, I don't know. Damn. I don't want to. Do I even have any trans friends? I don't think so. I can't ask anybody. I'm going to have to Google it myself.
Oh, you have no trans friends, huh? Why? Because you hate them so much?
No, because I want to be the only one.
Oh, okay.
Got him. See? You're the catch. You can never beat me.
There's no checkmate.
Yeah, I'm a trans man who just puts no effort into it. So I look the same, I act the same, I'm still straight. Everything is the same except the way I think about myself. Checkmate. Yeah, dude, and fucking that's okay. So now we talk all these fucking shows, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them were fucking like ruined. So I was really worried that Invincible was gonna get ruined too, because I read the comic and I was like, fuck, like not only like can it get, what would be the term, basically gentrified. That's basically what's happening to a lot of like they try to act like they're making things like better, but you're basically gentrifying the fucking show. And then it like it completely like went away from that. They're just like, no, like we're not doing this like type of shit. Like they decided to stick within the rules of their own like universe and just stick to their story.
Yeah.
That they themselves make, which I'm like, this is like the way to go, because like
it's like, oh, you're telling me that in a show where a giant man tiger from outer space beats up the half alien, half human superpower kid and a private detective demon are all like parts of the world. You're telling me in that show social justice isn't the primary issue?
Yeah.
When like some space spoiler alert, space invader, alien god, serial killer is here to conquer the earth. You're telling me that social justice isn't our biggest concern? Oh, wow, what a shock.
Yeah, that's the thing that I find, I guess, weird, because here's the thing. You can do it, but I think you kind of have to do it maybe as period pieces, because like Watchmen had never felt off. Like when watching, did you watch the show?
Not yet.
Oh, well, even in the comics, like they do social commentary, but it's like, but he's making social commentary like about the 80s, but he's factoring in the fact that people know about superheroes and they know about vigilantes and know all this shit. And I think what happens with a lot of these shows is that they don't factor that in.
Yeah,
they kind of just try to marry what the real world is like without any of these people existing. Yeah. And then they just kind of drop all these fucking superheroes. So I'm like, dude, you have an idea how much the dynamic of humanity would change if you had a motherfucker that could fly? You have an idea how much the dynamic of humanity would change if every month somebody toppled a fucking building in downtown? Like do you realize how much our priorities would change?
Because like if you look,
crazy.
The difference is that unlike the people who write these things, Alan Moore is a genuine genius. Yeah. He's also a psychopath, and he thinks he's a chaos wizard who's going to destroy the world, but he's also one of the most genius writers who's ever lived.
Yeah. Like Frank Miller, the well-known scientist. He is, dude. Right? Or he's a scientist, yeah. Or something like that.
He just hates Muslims.
Right. Oh, I thought he hated Jews. Well, that's not what a Zionist is it?
No, Zionist loves Jews.
Oh.
Wait, is that offensive to say that? Zionist, because Zion is from Old Testament stuff.
No, because I think Zionist just basically means that you think that the Holy Land belongs to the Jewish people, right? I think that's what Zionist means.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I'm not gonna Google this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, because Zion is from the Old Testament. It's like the where God told the Jewish.
Yeah,
people
that's what
to
they
go.
call the city in the Matrix. And there were no Muslims there.
But yeah, no, he hates Muslims. He wrote Holy Terror.
Oh, right.
Dude, that book, I haven't read it, but I've read excerpts from it, and it's just so
It's propaganda, basically.
insane. Like, I feel bad for him. It looks like he recovered from it. But I think he genuinely just had some kind of meltdown, and he went into this conspiracy hole where he was literally, like, in interviews, he's like, we're under attack, and, like, no one realizes, like, we're under attack. So he's, like, in his head, he's, like, trying to raise awareness for, like, this terrorist threat. And it's like, bro, like, yes, like, terrorism is, like, a thing, and it is a danger. Like, bro, you can't make a book where a dude goes to, to Islam, just to Iran or wherever it is.
No,
like,
that's basically what he thought. He's like, he just goes to Islam and he kills the terrorists.
and says stuff like when he's gonna torture a guy. He goes to torture a guy and he's like, all right, listen up, Muhammad. You're probably wondering how I knew your name was Muhammad, but I just figured there's a pretty good chance that that's your name. I was like,
he's like, actually, my name is John.
And like the villain is like a ISIS version of like Rorschach is the villain. And the opening has like a knockoff Catwoman, because the script is written as a Batman comic.
Yeah.
And then DC was like, please don't make this. So he just changed everyone's names.
What are you doing?
And like the opening is like the Rorschach ISIS guy bombs a building and it kills like his knockoff Catwoman and his knockoff Batman. His name is Holy Terror because it was supposed to be a play on Robin being like, oh, Holy Terror, Batman, blah, blah, blah. And he kept that. So Holy Terror is like, I must now kill all Muslim people. They are all terrorists. I'm like, whoa, why don't you stop? Just, like,
well, now it sounds like I have to read it. It's like the Mein Kampf of video games. The anti-Mein Kampf of video games. Of comic books. I'm fucking down.
It just seems so insane. Like, I have to read it as like whatever, but I also wouldn't feel right buying it, so I just need to look it up online.
Yeah.
Like, what was going through this man's head. Like, not to support it, but just to like, it's like a spectacle. Like, I have to see, like, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, I like the same way I watch a fucking car crash or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I don't love car crashes. But,
yeah.
You have to see it.
But I have to stare at it.
Like that video that I sent you of the cow being demolished by the train. It's just on the like, I saw that. I just watched that over and over again. I'm like, I don't like the way this cow literally explodes. And like, you can see it open up and rip apart everywhere. But I have to keep watching it. It's like, why?
Those get harder to watch as you get older. Because I think you accumulate, like, subconsciously you accumulate, like, I don't want to say trauma, but, like, your
just
threshold.
all the messed up stuff you've seen.
Well, it's just, like, I think there's a limit to how much of that stuff you can see, and I think we all fucked up by watching way too much of it when we were younger, because that's all I would see when I was, like, 15 and, like, 16. Like, I would just watch, like, cartel execution videos.
Bro, I never watched that stuff. Anything real? I don't think I've ever... Okay, I've seen one real video.
The cow was real.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen that much. I've seen one video of a real human being, like, dying, I think. It's just one of,
I've
like...
seen a few.
Someone's in the video, in, like, the forest, and they get, like, shot, like, in the face, and someone just edits in, like, he needs some milk. I was like, no. My brother sent it to me. I've seen that. I've seen videos of people getting shot. There was a crazy one. But the guy lived, so I think it didn't traumatize me or like it didn't sink my brain. But they're like in a car, like these two black guys with this black chick, and she's like has a gun and she's like waving around. The dude's like, chill, like don't play around with that. And she shoots him in the head, and his head tilts over, and you see the blood like pouring out of like a faucet out of the bullet hole. He's like, and then he lived though, so like it's okay to like. Be like
I've seen a few bad ones. I saw one. This might be the most fucked up one, where like. This fool's just like laying on the street, and then this dude like kneels next to him. He stabs him right in the heart.
Oh.
And then he pushes. He like does the knife as if he's like cutting him. And he cuts all the way down. And I stopped watching after that. But apparently like he opens him up and he takes out his heart. And I'm like, well,
What?
Yeah, like somebody sent in a group chat. I'm like, don't fucking send this shit ever again, you son of a bitch. I thought he was gonna do something funny.
I thought he was gonna do something funny.
And then I saw another one that
If
actually
they play the fart sound effect over him taking out the heart, then it goes like, okay, that was pretty good.
no, like I said, I thought it was gonna be like at least fun. That was not funny at all, because there's something.
No.
I mean, obviously a lot of people, a lot of videos where people get hurt are funny. This was
Like
not.
I sent you that one of the dude who's like banging some dude's wife, and he's like way up on like the 10th store, and he jumps out onto the car
naked. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
then just take the beating, bro.
Yeah, another one I saw that, like, I guess it like, in the context provided for the video made it seem justified. It said like guy finds out friend like texted nudes to his 10-year-old sister or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the video is fucking brutal. Like this dude's like sleeping over.
Oh, and it's where he's hitting him, right?
I think you sent me.
I sent you.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's he molested his like 13-year-old sister.
or yeah, something.
And it was
like
his friend. Yeah,
but it was brutal as fuck. Like,
I didn't watch the whole thing because I remember you texted me. You're like,
was like,
"What is wrong with you?" I didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
And you told me I watched the whole thing. I'm like, I didn't watch the whole thing. Like the first like 10 seconds were enough. He's just like pummeling this dude. It's like, okay, he deserved it.
No, but it just felt like wrong. I was like, is this what Batman does? Jesus fucking Christ. That's basically what happened to that fool in the trailer of the Batman.
All that dude said was, I love that. Dude's just like, who the hell are you? Batman like hospitalizes him.
I'm head trauma. I'm brain damage.
For real. He just pummels his dude. He's like,
I'm CTE.
who are you? Breaks every bone in his body.
Yeah.
Then he's like, I'm Batman.
Don't ask me no stupid questions again.
Yeah, we're a whole year out from that movie. It was supposed to be releasing like right now, originally.
Dude, everything has been delayed. That's why I beat fucking Resident Evil 8 in like 3 days, because I was just like, there's been no new video games since Cyberpunk. Basically, there has been no new video games. There's been like, I don't know, maybe a couple. Like I guess Returnal is the only new game.
Yeah, the one PS5 game still doesn't make the PS5 worth buying.
Yeah, but like, there used to be probably like one AAA game a month. You know what I mean? Release probably around, and then like a few like maybe a couple other indies or something like that.
Yeah.
Cause like I remember like during the summer, they released Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, it was
And
kind
I
of
was
around
like,
the same
fuck
time.
yeah, and then wait all the way to like what fuck and a Final Fantasy. They released like a bunch of games, and then boom, like the Drought, Cyberpunk, Drought, Resident Evil 8. I can't think of any other AAA game that's been released since.
I think Resident Evil 8 is gonna be my game of the year for sure.
I mean, we'll see. Fucking, I think Ratchet and Clank is releasing.
Just I really connected with Resident Evil 8. Like I love that game.
Yeah,
Like that might be my favorite Resident Evil now.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it might be the
Just I've never connected with the Resident Evil story. Like I always liked them because they're like fun, like campy zombie flicks. But like this was like, I want to say too much.
It has the best story
new.
for sure. I think of any other Resident Evil game I've ever played.
Yeah, it's a story you can connect with because it's about a guy who's doing this stuff for like his daughter, and it's like, all right, I understand this. He's like a normal dude, and he's like going through this. Because that's what I thought was cool about about 7. Because like always in Resident Evil, it's about people who end up in like these crazy situations, or they're like soldiers, or like,
but they're like cops.
Yeah, exactly. They're like soldiers and cops. They happen into these things. Or like Resident Evil 7, like he goes out of his way and puts himself in this situation, like find his wife. And then in 8, it's the same thing. Like he's like, I need to get my daughter back. He's like a normal dude.
Yeah, in 7, he's like, I need to save my wife from these fucking rednecks.
And then she like cuts his hand off.
Yeah, like, oh shit. He's like, fuck, these fucking rednecks are crazy. And then like, just before the game ends, he's like, oh, they're zombies. I thought they were just rednecks. And it's like, listen, the behavior is normal.
The powers are not.
The powers are not, yeah.
And I like the reveal in 7 that his wife was a spy for Umbrella. She was like an agent.
Was she? What?
Remember she's
Oh,
on
she
the
worked
boat.
for Umbrella, right?
Yeah, she was like an agent. She worked with that one dude, and then I like the role reversal they're doing right now, though. I like that you find out in 8 that Umbrella is like, well, you find out in 7 that Umbrella's the good guys now, but in 8 you find out that the BSAA, they're the bad guys now.
Yeah, here's the thing about Resident Evil. on one hand, the reason why they have been able to stay alive for this long is because they've reinvented the series, the games basically what 3 times now.
Well, this is their third trilogy. The first trilogy was the straight up horror ones, 1 through 3.
Yeah.
4 through 6 is like the full on action stuff.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of half and half.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, 4 was still pretty much a horror game.
It had horror elements, but it was definitely way more action heavy than any of the ones.
I don't know.
before.
I thought it was terrifying if you played it when it came out. If you play it now, you're not gonna get scared.
Yeah,
But if
it's
you-
still. But it's still action heavy. It's like, there's segments where you're fighting monsters. There wasn't a whole lot. If you play the older Resident Evils, there's not any real fight scenes.
No, right, but I feel like so 4 like kind of bridged the gap. I thought 4 was, again, for the time, the perfect mix of action and horror, and then 5 was basically all action, very little horror, and 6 was just a fucking Gears of War game basically.
Yeah.
And I never played it. And I never.
Oh really?
Yeah, and
I actually like 6.
I played it a little bit, but I don't know. The 5th one pissed me off so much when he started fighting zombies with machine guns. I'm like, this is not. What the fuck am I playing anymore?
So 5 was when I got my PS3. It came with Resident Evil. It came with Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
And me and my brother beat that entire game in co-op. That was like that's like a good memory. So like I've always liked that game. And I played a little. So at that point, I had played 4 on the PS2 or the GameCube, and that game was fun, but it broke before I could beat it. So I've always liked Resident Evil 4, but I never beat it. Then 5 was like the first real Resident Evil game I fully played, and I thought that was like the best. 6 was just crazy full on action stuff, but I really do think like 7 and 8 are like. And no, probably the remake of 2 is probably like if someone's trying to get into Resident Evil, the remake of 2 is like a masterpiece.
Yeah, remake. The third one is good, but it should have been like an expansion. It's way too short to be considered a full game. It's really good, but again, like they cut like half the game. Like it was fucking weird. I'm like, they just got lazy or some shit.
I guess I just wanted to push it out real quick.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're taking their time with the 4 remake because they confirmed they're doing it. And
I don't think that one needs a remake. That one still holds up.
It does. I'm playing through it right now. It does hold up, but it'd be kind of cool to see it with new voice acting and a slightly improved script and better graphics.
I don't think I think that's a waste of time. I think because that game is still pretty modern feel and look to it. I think it's a waste. I think they should remake maybe the first one again, or I don't know. I think you should make a new one. Like
I think they should remake Code Veronica X.
Yeah, like
that game is unplayable. I can't. I try to play it. I can't get past the first 5 minutes. It's too old. Because even the GameCube remake of 1 is playable.
Yeah.
It still has the only thing that's outdated is the fixed camera angles.
Yeah.
But even then, it's playable, and that's like one of the few games I've played with that, and it worked fine for me. I had a good time with that. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was one of my favorite Resident Evils, but I definitely think Code Veronica, because you can't give me tank controls and fixed camera angles. Like, that's too old-fashioned. Like, I can't do that. So remake that one, because it is important to the story. It bridges the gap between 2 and 5 when you find out what happened to Chris, and it's an important part of the story. But it's unplayable. It's on PlayStation 4 for like $15. Don't waste your money on it. You won't be able to play it.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah, maybe it was 10. I don't remember. It's a full game though.
Yeah, and I was very I was a little bit worried honestly when they announced the 7th one, because I thought that they were gonna try to do some bullshit like Amnesia or like Outlast, and I'm like, I don't like those games. I don't like those games where you're basically just running from the monster the whole fucking time. Like I think, I don't know. I don't think that like they're like that enjoyable. But they, again, they found a way to like bridge their like, because it's still at the end of the day like it's still an action game. Like Resident Evil is still like survival horror. Like it's not just like horror.
Yeah.
And they did like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how these Japanese motherfuckers do it, but like they make everything like look and feel so real. Like they have a good these people have a good grasp of like what horror is like, and they do it without any jump scares too, which is kind of like, I think like a lot of American developers or even like in movies, they rely on jump scares too much to produce like horror.
The scariest thing I've ever experienced in a video game was when that baby thing came out in 8. Because you have to walk towards it.
Yeah.
And you can't see 2 feet ahead of you. You're like, this thing is coming out right now. What is this? And it built up the tension so well because your brain is like, what am I about to walk into? You have no idea. You're like, what is this?
Yeah,
what
because
is this?
you just see the umbilical cord.
Yeah, and you hear it laughing and crying. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? I was so scared. I was like, what is this thing? Yeah. And like, I even tried, like, I turned around to walk away at one point, and I was like, no. I was like, it's a waste of time. I have to walk up to this thing eventually. So I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, like, I was playing it, and I just remember thinking, like, okay, like, I'll play this again during the day, but I was like, you know what? I just want to get this fucking over with. Because I knew that I was like, I know the rest of the game isn't going to be like this. So I was like, I just want to get this fucking over with because I fucking hate this.
Horrifying.
Yeah. And then the motherfucking baby comes out. It's disgusting. And then it comes out again like when you least expect it. Like literally you least
you get the fuse. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Bust through the, I was like, no.
And then you literally have to crawl under a bed to escape it, which is like one of the scariest I mean, the move to first person was brilliant because they can kind of make it as action heavy as they want, and it's still gonna be pretty fucking scary just because of the perspective. Really, like even that part where you play as Chris, and you had like you're basically like buffed to the max.
Yeah, like all these crazy guns with like unlimited ammo.
Yeah, exactly. You have like grenades and shit. Like it still can get pretty fucking scary, because like the monster design is pretty good, and they get all up in your face, so you see him like on the screen, like all big, like all big and shit. So like it still fucks you up. Mm-hmm. It's not the that's because third person, like, you know, it definitely helps with it not being as scary for sure.
Yeah. Because the first person, I'm hoping they patch in VR compatibility for 8.
Oh fuck!
I know you can't handle it.
Hell no.
I wish it had it, because playing that scene with the baby in VR for the first time, that would have been like traumatizing. I need an experience. Kill myself. I need an experience like that, because I love 7. It's great in VR. The game doesn't scare me anymore. I can honestly speedrun.
Well, because you know where. Yeah.
It's like, all right, but it's a short game too. I'm speedrunning it right now. I'll probably be done in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
But it's such a good game. They're just so well designed. And kind of what was interesting was the older Resident Evils, they're like at their core, they're puzzle games. The original ones. Yeah. So they kind of bridged this combination of like horror with puzzle games, with like adventure and action and survival, and they kind of just melted it all together and made its own thing, and that's what Resident Evil was. And then these new ones, just because of the technology we have, they just ramped the horror up to like insane levels. Because 7, when I first played that game, the scene with the wife where you're going down the stairs and you can hear her, and that was terrifying. That whole scene, I remember the first time I played that, I was like, this is scary. Dude. And that's what's sad, is like, not what's sad, but that was when I was playing with 8. I was like, I'm getting an experience right now that I'm not going to be able to replicate after, like this like fear, because like it's all then unknown.
You know what's up.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about playing 7 and 8 for the first time. I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into, and this is like, I'm not going to be able to replicate this ever again. So like, I just wanted to enjoy it in those couple days when I had it, and it's worth it. It's such a great game.
Yeah. When I play these games, like I just get the sense that like that Japanese developers, I guess you could include maybe like you could definitely include like some Western developers, but I don't know, like I just feel like they are ahead of everybody, like even if it's not by that much, but I just think they innovate way more often than Western developers. I think Western developers are a lot more into let's just make fucking money. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? And I think Japanese developers they actually like to innovate, because like I don't know, like for example, like the only developer that I can think that is as innovative as the Japanese developers is Rockstar, but that's because they're like they have so much resources, you know, and time to do something new, and also like you know, they're expanding upon like a pretty solid base. Yeah. But like I mean, I can't think of anything that felt more like I can't think of a game that felt more next gen than fucking like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like that shit like felt, I was like, holy fuck, like this dude like literally thought of almost kind of everything. And this is like, I was like, I just can't think of a Western developer that would do that kind of shit. Like sometimes they do stuff with like Ubisoft was pretty innovative with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they were. That's what was so
Doom.
crazy is they were innovative at one point, and now they're just lazy.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating. The only game they've made in the past like 5 years that doesn't follow the whole open world find locations thing is Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
that's their only game that isn't an open world go find locations blah 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 game.
Yeah, they got stuck, like basically like, because even though that their new games are like, oh, we changed the franchise. Yeah, but you didn't actually innovate at all. You just copied fucking Fable and Skyrim. You know, like this isn't anything new.
Yeah.
And
it was crazy because there was a time Far Cry 3 was considered innovative.
No, right, because
that was the last one.
But I'm saying like they make something innovative and then they replicate it.
Yeah, they've
47 times.
They've been trying to replicate what Far Cry 3 was.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't think they get that Far Cry 3 was innovative and unique.
Far Cry 2 as well.
Yeah.
They actually felt the difference between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then they were like, why don't we just do the same game 1,000 times?
Yeah. They're trying to redo 3, and it's like the reason 3 worked was it was new and it was original and it was unique. You can't replicate that by doing it over and over again. That's the opposite of how you do that.
Yeah, I don't think Japanese developers do that. That's the thing. Like, I feel like, because I play like Persona, every Persona feels pretty different, or like at least different enough, you know, where you could tell it's a sequel. Like basically the way I think like the developer really changes their game is that when you go and you play the older game in the series, that it feels worse than the new one. Doesn't mean it feels bad or that unplayable, but like that you can definitely be like, yeah, they definitely made the new one better. Yeah. And I just don't feel like, I went back to play like Assassin's Creed Origins and it did not feel that fucking different. You know what I mean? Like, or Odyssey, same thing. It feels the same as Valhalla. Like there's no difference. Same with same with Far Cry 3. Does it ever feel that different from 4 and 5? Not really. No. Not at all.
No. 5.
But Grand Theft Auto 4 feels way different than Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we ever going to get... you know, it looks like that we're going to be getting a first look at GTA 6, right?
Shut up, bro. It's never going to happen.
What's up?
It's never going to happen.
Well, because Rockstar this past week was hiring playtesters for a new game. So it's like, what else would they be making? Bully 2? I would play Bully 2.
They've been talking about that forever.
Yeah, well apparently the last leaks based off those like legal information was that they canned the copyright or whatever, so it doesn't look like they're doing it. But I would play Bully 2. Bully's fun.
Bully might be my favorite Rockstar game, to be honest. That shit was amazing.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
1 hour later.
Dicks in my ass? Got it. No, I'm just talking about the things that you love to see. Wait, but that would still make me gay. No. Never mind. Like, oh yeah, you're gay for liking people seeing me get fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Sorry, Miguel. There's no coming straight out of that.
There's no escaping this.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's play testers?
Yeah, they're So, I guess they put out some kind of hiring call or something at Rockstar to play test a new game. And this was like last week or maybe the week before.
How do these... Honestly, I don't believe it, because there's no fucking way that there has never been a leak by a play tester for Grand Theft Auto game. I can't believe that they would ever outsource that. They have to do it in-house.
You can't do it in-house. That's what the whole point of play testing. It has to be someone who's not affiliated with the company.
Yeah, but when you're like that good at making games, I'm sure, you know what I mean? Just let the CEO play it. Let the CEO of Take-Two play. Let's let his kid play it. Let his kid fucking play Grand Theft Auto. I'm sure he'll tell him what's up.
I'm assuming they put it in some kind of something where it's like, you know, I'm sure whatever they give him is like nothing you could leak and be like, yeah. Like, what's the leak going to be? Like, there was like shooting and people died and stuff. Like, yeah, it was GTA. Like, I stole a car and I killed some people. And then I banged a stripper. And
Yeah,
like, oh wow.
Oh, cool. You can now... Actually, they implemented this thing where you can now shoot movie theaters and nail salons. this is amazing. It's like, wow.
You can also like target people like NPCs based on their race, and you will become a known racist in the game.
You can put a thing in your gun that like you basically, let's say you shoot across a crowd of people, but the bullets only hurt characters of a certain race. Say hell yeah. That's, dude, I bet you anything that's the new gun that the US government is releasing. They're gonna be like a gun that like the bullet basically like like it touches your body and it goes through your browser history, and if you like, or like it somehow like finds your religion, and if it detects Muslim, then the bullet kills you. And if it detects like any other religion, the bullet sucks your dick or something. I don't know. Stop. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a scientist.
Stop. I hate that that's your reasoning for so many things. Is, hey, listen, I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a weapons manufacturer.
Your catchphrase, just merch on shirts, should just be like, I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a scientist.
But, and then on the badge says,
but I will talk like I am one.
But I will talk about racist guns.
Yeah, I will talk about guns like fucking, I don't know who's into guns. Like I'm Walmart.
Walmart.
I don't even know who manufactures guns. You even know the name of a gun company?
Armalite.
Armalite?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk about guns like I'm Armalite. I'm gonna talk about the virus like I'm an epidemiologist. I'm gonna talk about sex like I'm you. Shit. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto Online is the worst fucking thing that happened to that franchise, because it completely devalued the point of the fucking game. Dude, who are these fucking savages that play this game?
People who dump money into it.
Dude, but it's insane to me who would like... I played it and it was fun for like 5 hours, and even then it wasn't that fun because you had to keep playing the same fucking mission over and over again.
Yeah.
Until you can afford to play a better mission. I'm like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? And also like everybody in the game has like laser pointer, like has like fucking aimbots.
Yeah.
Like all the cops have aimbots. It was fucking impossible. Like the game was harder than on single player. And like, I don't know. Like I honestly, I didn't think the experience translated. I didn't really think so.
It's fun if you can. So here's the thing: you need to have friends to do heists with. Otherwise, you're stuck in a public lobby for heists, and you'll never do anything. You'll never have any money. But if you do have friends to do heists with, you'll have more money. You'll have more stuff to do, and you'll be able to be the guy that flies around killing all the people with like no money. And it's like, this is how it feels. You're just like driving a tank over everyone's cars. You're like, finally, I get to be the one.
Yeah, they have like a DeLorean now and a fucking like
they have a Batmobile. The legitimate Tim Burton Batmobile is in the game,
and they have I think it's a motorcycle, right, with missiles that flies.
It flies, yeah. It's
I'm so pissed off they never put that in
called the Oppressor. I'm not even joking.
And you can only paint it white. Isn't it like? I thought it was fucking stupid that they didn't put it in single player though. Like
they
all
literally gave up on the single player.
Yeah, because they said they were gonna add like missions, and I was super excited for that. And then they were like, "Actually, go fuck yourself. We have no morals and no like integrity, and we're just gonna milk these fucking retarded people for money, basically."
And that was the thing. They tried to redo Red Dead Online, and I was like, "Do you realize that it doesn't translate, because in GTA you're trying to grind for money so you can buy cars and property and underground bases. What can you buy in the Old West? Another trench coat and a horse? Like, thanks. Like, oh cool,
a slave.
You can buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just don't think that I don't think their games translate to online. Like I think I thought Grand Theft Auto 4's online was better. Like I really liked it. Like I actually thought the death matches were cool. Like the races were cool, like all that shit. But like, I tried to do like a race on GTA Online, and nobody would get on. And I was like, man, like, and then I see these dope ass races with like where they just started putting shit in the fucking sky,
Yeah.
like cylinders and shit, and like, I have no idea how to fucking access any of that.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can. Like, it just seems like you literally need to have 10 friends to enjoy the game. Otherwise, you're not enjoying fucking anything.
I have so many ideas for what they could do to like make it better, but it would be like too hard, and it would take away what they ultimately want, which is to be able to monetize the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Because the downfall of it is that it's all built on real world money being used to buy in-game money, and what they need to do is make it so you can jack someone else's like stash. Like that would be like you can make money pretty easily, but you could also lose it really easily. That's way more interesting than just being able to like, oh, I spent $100 and bought a bunch of money.
Yeah, but then you're just gonna get people just like be like, I don't give a fuck. I am rich, and they just like spend $100 on a shark card and they get $100 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like this would take away that because no one would be dropping $100 on it because it gets stolen at any second. But so that's why they would never do it.
I don't know. I thought it was very disappointing because I remember watching the preview and I thought it looked really cool, but I think that the way they should have done it was that they should have done it like Destiny, in which they have a co-op campaign online, and then what is GTA Online right now is basically just the end game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then I would have played through the co-op campaign, and then I would have given up on the end game, but like you would still have the end game for everybody who wants to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that having like this lobby of like 12 people, it's just a fucking mess. Everybody's a fucking mess. Like you can't drive past anybody like without them shooting at you. Like it's just like
there's no like the problem is there's no downside to murdering everybody.
Yeah, like it's just not
it's like they're gonna be like, oh, you're marked as a psychopath on the map. It's like, yeah, everybody is.
Yeah, like everybody's just like going around punching civilians in the face. Like that's like their thing. I don't know. I didn't think it translated. And I'm very worried about I don't know. I'm not worried about Grand Theft Auto 6, the single player, because I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I'm sure it's gonna be whatever it is. It's gonna be fucking tits up because they're skipping a fucking generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure whatever they do is going to be sick. Because Red Dead 2 was fucking amazing. And it looked amazing and it played amazing. And it was very like, it was like a legit evolution of the game. Again, like these Japanese motherfuckers, they know how to change shit up and make it way better. Like Red Dead 2 literally felt like, you ever seen The Wild Bunch?
No.
Great fucking movie. You should watch it. It's a Western. I don't even know any of the actors. I don't remember their names. I think one of them is like pretty well known. But anyways, it felt like playing through like an old Western. Especially in the beginning, it felt like the Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
the
game really does feel like you've been dropped into like the actual, like you can hunt and like
exactly.
Your guns. Like you really do feel like you're this actual dude like trying to survive in like the old West.
Yeah, and they put a lot of bullshit content that is enjoyable for autistics like us. Like collecting all the skins to make the animal like furs and the outfits, like all that stupid shit that no rational person would ever waste their time doing. I'm like, yeah, I need to find the legendary crocodile and shoot it with my bow and arrow so that I don't ruin his hide. I know, it's like it's like some fucking like mentally ill people do this. I was actually my mom, I forget what she was talking to me about. But she was like, yeah, she got diagnosed with this. I'm like, Mom, be real with me. If I was a kid and you would have taken me to one of these doctors, they would have diagnosed me with something too. She's like, yeah. yeah, probably. I was like, I just feel like a lot of these, like, not that they're made up, but I just feel like
this is just called being a human being.
Yeah, like labeling it as a condition. It like not only like do I think it's given people some like obviously like some victimhood status without really like being one, but more than anything, I think it's fucked up for like the kid that now feels like he's weird or like, you know what I mean, that he won't be able to fit in. I'm like, no, dude, like it's like if you would call like being like gay a condition. It's the same. I'm like, there's actually like 100 million gay people on the planet. I don't think that qualifies You know what I mean? Like, it's like, let's not act like you have a third leg, or you know what I mean, or a fucking a finger coming out of your forehead or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Is there any game coming out? Is there anything coming out? We're gonna be in a fucking drought, right, for a while because of COVID.
Yeah, nothing's coming out, dude. Like what? I'm trying to think. Like, what am I excited for?
Because they work in sweatshops basically to make these video games, and you can't have a sweatshop during fucking COVID times.
Sure you can. You just have to not care about your workers.
Yeah. Oh right. No, but I don't know. These maybe the Europeans can't do it. The Europeans for sure can't do it. The Japanese, I think, eliminated the Asians at least got rid of the virus pretty quick because they have this thing called fucking discipline and self-control.
They have this thing called fascist governments.
Well, I'm not Japan, but
China,
but they're educated people, at least, or that's what I'm led to believe. You know,
educated people who love to throw themselves out of the fucking third-story roofs of the building they work at.
You can be overworked and educated, and not fuck, and instead bang your fucking pillow, and marry your DS, your Nintendo DS. These none of these things disprove my point of their discipline. They're like, no, I wouldn't have no pussy.
Well, yeah, of course they weren't going out to nightclubs or anything. They go to their job, they go back home.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no more going out and socializing. Japanese people be like, okay.
I must finish our Resident Evil 8. He's like, I appreciate your sacrifice. What a beautiful game. Thank you, sir. Thank you for Metal Gear. Thank you, Kojima, for not giving a fuck and just overworking well, I don't know if he did that. But I don't know. I assume I'll get... Actually, you don't really... That's a cultural difference because you do not hear those complaints from the Japanese developers. And I'm sure...
The overworking thing?
Yeah, I'm sure they haven't found...
Yeah, the complaints is just killing yourself.
They're like, this is just how life is here. What are you talking about? What are you fucking Syria Americans are complaining about this bullshit?
Remember that lady that just died at the McDonald's in Japan?
What'd she do?
She literally just died from overworking.
How weak.
She just went to the McDonald's after work and died, and they were like, yeah, it was just some overworking.
If she had just passed out, she would have still had to kill herself to defend her family's honor. So I guess it doesn't matter. The end result is the same. She actually died with honor instead of with shame.
Yeah.
And now her family can rest in peace knowing that she's in Warrior Paradise or whatever. I don't know.
Warrior Paradise,
some
making
like
microchips for Dell computers.
I think that's Malaysia.
Yeah. That's where your merchandise is made.
Yeah. Well, I think Japanese are the oppressors.
I don't even know anymore.
Right? I assume, right? You don't take shit. You don't manufacture shit in Japan. You manufacture shit in China and fucking Taiwan and places like that.
Yeah.
I think in Japan they're like, bro, the only thing we make here is hentai. Okay? And cars. Yeah, exactly. And child porn that's not really child porn.
Yeah, because it's animated.
Yeah, because they're 100 years old.
They're a 100-year-old vampire witch.
Yeah.
You have to read the lore in the wiki.
Yeah, it's not my fault that she looks like a 10-year-old Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
That's just a coincidence. Wink, wink. You so Siri.
What do you mean this should put me on a watch list? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you should be on a watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigot watch list.
Yeah, for being gay. I don't know. Are they homophobic?
The Japanese, from my understanding, are everything phobic. They don't like black people. I don't think they like Islamic people.
Understandable.
Yeah, they kind of just don't like anything that's not Japanese.
Oh.
My understanding.
They must fucking hate Weibo said. They must fucking
yeah, I know.
They must hate these motherfuckers that go over there. They're like, arigato, arigato. And then they're saying in Japanese. Like, I mean, listen, I'm not making the accent. I'm just, since I don't know Japanese, I'm going to do the accent. But understand that this hypothetical person is speaking in Japanese.
Yes.
So what they would be saying is like, Americans that come over here, they're disgusting. Do you disgust? You're like, I wish I would dance so I could piss on the grave. That was, again, me. Since I don't know Japanese, you know what?
Me after playing
Hold up.
Ghost of Tsushima for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's how you start talking.
Wasn't there a thing about how like some fucking honkies were complaining that Ghost of Tsushima was cultural appropriation, and meanwhile, literally every Japanese magazine, like gamer magazine, were all like,
amazing.
"Yeah, this is sick as fuck."
The actual island of Tsushima made the game directors like official ambassadors, and they're like, oh, these Americans are gods.
Like, oh, these are not disgusting.
He actually liked the culture.
Yeah. All right, wait, hold up. I'm doing this right now. English to Japanese.
This is gonna turn out very well.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Don't worry about it.
This is how you avoid having to do Japanese accents.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just
it's just as funny.
You can just pull out Google.
Let me put silly Americans and their disgusting pillow fucking.
No, okay.
Let's see. What if it comes out to like? Oh, let's see. I would just
and the weeb was like, oh, arigato.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would just. This is a new T-shirt too. This is a new T-shirt.
Silly American.
All right. All right, guys. That's the episode. You might notice a cut because I had to go to fucking therapy because my brain is filled with shit, and I forgot.
When he came back, he was a much more sane person.
Yeah, I was fixed. I'm good now. It's over. The nightmare is over.
The nightmare is over.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.